Beautiful morning and welcome to the Saturday edition of our show, Supernatural Saturday, the meditation portion of our program. I have with me a being goes by the name of Juliaan, Ascended Master Juliaan. And the meditation today is about awakening your soul. And I hope you'll participate in it as best as you can. One of the things he said to me before I came on, he said, it's important that people understand the only thing that will get in the way of your freedom and your understanding of who you are and what you came here to do and be is what you already know. That is what you have been taught to believe is who you are by the world around you. It was established when you came into this world that you already had a self, an identity, a state of being that loaned itself to unconditional love, the unconditional movement of energy and consciousness, both into itself and from itself. In awakening your soul, it is very important you understand a very simple principle. Let go of what your mind thinks and let go of what you remember long enough to recall who you are. We will get into a deeper understanding of this through the process more so than the communication of language. Understand that language only has its use insofar as it is able to orchestrate your actions and your circumstances in alignment with your purpose. And in order to get to your purpose, you must be able to awaken from your sleep, from all of this information that you are entangled with. All of you, without exception, well, at least there are a few exceptions, but all of you, with a few exceptions, are entangled in the information of what you already know and what you remember. And thereby you are asleep in that. You are within a costume, unable to take the costume off. The process of meditation is the process of undressing yourself to reveal who you truly are behind the mask that the world has placed upon your face. And when you take that mask off, the face that you will look upon will be so exquisite and so beautiful, you will never wish to put another mask upon that face again. Understand, the awakening of your soul is already established. It is simply revealing the truth to yourself through the releasing of your attachment to all these unnecessary things. In the process of what you call meditation, there are simple elements, and you will always hear it spoken this way, that it is a very simple process. It is not a difficult process. It is only difficult in that you are attached to something that is not true and ignorant of what is true. And yet both exist simultaneously within you, and this is where your confusion comes, because you have a knowing of what is true and you have an awareness of what is false and are unable to distinguish between the two. But in the process of learning to release your attachment to what is known to you in your mind from your body, to release your attachment to these things long enough to catch but even a slight glimpse of the peace that is your natural state, of the freedom that is your natural being, of the expression that is your natural purpose. But first you must get a glimpse. And in the process that will be outlined to you today, it is always very simple. Again, the difficulty is in letting go of what you were so accustomed to suffering with and what you were so accustomed to believing. But you do not have to get rid of those things. You simply have to know how to put them down long enough to not be distracted by them. And so the act of meditation is simply that process of making the distinction between you, your thoughts, your memories, your body, making the distinction that you are that which observes these things, but is not bound by them. Although these things have bound you, you are not bound by them. In the act of deliberate breathing, you move yourself into a position of authoritative posturing over your body, in that when it breathes under your direction, it is under your direction. That very simple act. And in all great teachings, the simplest is the most effective. Coming to the understanding that the act of deliberately making your body breathe in a specific fashion is an assertion of authority over the body that you always have available to you, although some of you may be so confused by the information that swirls around uncontrollably in your mind and the emotions that correspondingly do so with them, that you may think this is difficult. But it is far more difficult to continue to remain in that whirlwind of confusion and information, trying to figure out what is true and what is false from a big mess of ideations that do not really reflect the truth of who you are. But in that place of the breath where you breathe and you feel your breath, and you feel only your breath, and you give attention only to your breath, there is only you directing the breath and the body reacting and responding to your direction for it to breathe, and you become fully immersed. You become fully immersed in that breath that you give to your body to take. And you let your attention be only upon this. This is the first and most important step. In enacting the breath in this fashion, where it is deliberate, do not underestimate the potency of that authority you have over that body through the act of deliberately breathing it. Do not underestimate the authority that you establish with the deliberate act of breathing. In maintaining that process for but a little while, deliberately breathing slowly and deeply, there is a range of modifications that begin to occur in your body. Through slow, deliberate breathing, you stimulate the animal consciousness, which is your body. You stimulate it by the breath to be in a varied state of existence, unattached and uninfluenced by memory or information or what you have been taught to believe is true or false. In that place where you are just the breather breathing the body, and there is no thought, you surrender your thought through the act of breathing. A stillness begins to ensue within the body. A form of what you call relaxation begins to occur with your body. Slowly, deliberately breathing, you begin to feel the body relaxing. You may even instruct it to do so. You may even instruct it to relax, to do so. As it does these things on your behalf, at your command and request, it begins to relax even further, and you become aware of a calmness that begins to be felt by the muscles, the nerves, the organs, even in the thoughts of your mind, as they too, as you direct the body to be still, they too begin a process of becoming still through the very act of your breath, deliberately executed through your own will. That breath, breathing it deeply, intently, feeling only the breath, feeling the way the body changes with the breath. You may slow the breathing down more, and you may speed the breathing up, and you will experience a different change in what the body experiences under your direction. And how, you may ask, does this awaken your soul? It is very simple. In the authority over the body, which contains all your memories, which contains all that you've been taught, all you've been garnered to believe from this world, everything you have been told, everything you think you understand about life, also comes under the influence of your breath, where your breath now begins to likewise still and quiet the thoughts and the emotions in your mind, which are dependent upon the activities of the body. The quieter, the calmer, the stiller your breath makes your body, the quieter, the stiller, and the calmer your thoughts begin to become. And as you observe and you experience you begin to awaken, you begin to become aware that you are aware and independent of thought, memory, emotion, and yes, even the very body itself. All of these things fall under your direction as you awaken. Each breath slow, deliberate, keeping your attention upon the slow, intent breathing of your body. And no matter what sounds, no matter what distractions may occur around you, keep your attention upon the breath. Keep your attention on slow, deliberate release, slow and gentle intaking of energy in through the nose and out through the mouth, slowly and gently, feeling how the body responds under your direction, feeling also how thought and memory and emotion, if you remain persistent and concentrated upon the gentle, slow actions of the breath only, you will be, and some of you to your amazement, observe how the mind begins also to become quiet and still, and you become more aware of the silence, and you may even become aware of even more thought and more memory and more emotion, but remain persistent in the process of deliberately slowing the body down with your breath. For the mind, the thoughts, the memories, and the emotions are wholly dependent upon the actions of the body and their senses being distracted by the world around them. And my goal with you today is very simple: to begin this process of you consciously beginning to awaken your soul, your awareness, to be the independent authority over your mind, over your emotions, over that body that you have as the instrument for the expression of your purpose. It will become clear to you if you are persistent, especially when you find the mind is most disturbed or the emotions are most active, that if you assert your authority, direct the body to be still, to slowly, deeply breathe the body, keep the body under your direction of breathing slowly and deeply. And you will observe as you maintain that, you keep your attention on the breath, then thoughts begin to become still. As you direct the body to remain relaxed and reposed, then the thoughts which are dependent on the body and its senses begin to likewise subside. Emotions begin to gently recede. It is in first keeping your awareness on the actuality that you are directing your body to function in a very precise and specific fashion. If you understand and are applying this as we speak, then you'll have a greater degree of awareness. You'll have a greater degree of understanding. Your soul awakens when it is liberated from what you already know. And only what you already know stands between you and your awakening. And this awakening is happening whether you wish it to or not. It is inevitable. The choice is, will you do this by choice and intent, or will you wait for something in the world to do so for you? You may receive simply more information from the world, but if you do not gain the necessary experience with being the director of your body, the orchestrator of the mind, then you will be lost to this world until you awaken by fate, by chance, or by circumstance. Awareness is what begins to expand when the body becomes quiet, when you deliberately begin to direct your body to be still. As you continue that process and you experience suddenly there's more thought, there's more memory, there's more emotion. Stay with the breathing, directing the body. You may even go so far as to direct your thoughts to be still, to be quiet. Give them permission to be still, to be quiet. The very nature of directing your body to breathe in the fashion that is being described to you here awakens your authority not only over the body itself, but over the very thoughts that direct its actions, the very information that compels you to think, feel, or believe certain things to be true or not to be true. All of these things in this process can be put in abeyance, and your awareness, your soul begins to awaken to the understanding that you are not the thoughts. You are not the memories. You are not the emotions. You are not the body. These are all instrumentations of a creative process that you may deliberately partake in when you are aware that you are aware, independent of the mask that the world has placed over your consciousness. And it has been a mask that has been upon some of your faces for many lifetimes, many planetary excursions, many journeys. But it is time, if you are hearing these words, to pull the mask off, to reveal yourself to yourself, to begin to move back towards the purposefulness in your being, which cannot be realized in an illusion, but only through the truth of what you are. You may utilize thoughts, and you may utilize memories, and you may utilize emotion, but they must be employed and utilized by you, not there to subjugate you to them. So continue the breath. Continue to teach yourself the authority that you have over that beautiful instrument that you're hearing these words through, that you may breathe slowly and deliberately. And gain the experience that you are indeed the master of the temple in which you reside. each breath you take, even deliberately and meticulously, will not inhibit your freedom. It will increase it. As your awareness expands to become more aware of the past and more aware of information, continue to employ the act of the breath, even to memory, even to your pain, to your sorrows, to your anger, to your guilt, to your shame. Use your breath to place them into stillness. As you gain experience that you can indeed alter and change thought, memory, emotion, and the function of body to this degree, to that degree you also awaken yourself to the freedom and peace that comes with knowing you are not bound by what the world has told you to believe to be true or not true. You are bound by no man. You are bound by no emotion. You are bound by nobody. You are here of your own free will to learn to understand the fundamental actions that you would perform from the essence of your being. That is, to know who you are, to know what you as awareness are here to be and do. And it was already established that you came in response to a call for love. And you came here to offer that love to the world in the fashion that you would, whether that is as a teacher, or as a parent, or as an artist, or as an explorer. You came to offer a gift to this world, a gift of love that is unique and distinct to each and every one of you, but only perceptible from the realm of the fearless, which means you must learn how to liberate yourself from subjectivity to memory, emotion. Memory and emotion are all that stand in the way. In your freedom of understanding your awareness does not mean that you do not have the personality that you currently have. It simply means you are able to utilize the personality instead of remaining subjective to it. You are not here to be subjective to your personality. You're here to utilize it as a mechanism to carry out the purpose you came here to fulfill. And the purpose you came here to fulfill is not resident within the information that the world has provided you with. It may provide you with glimpses, but you already contain the necessary elements for fulfilling your purpose should you become aware of them. And in order to become aware of them, you must establish your authority over that body, over the thoughts, the memories, the emotions, to be aware that you are aware of these things, that these things are to be utilized by you, not to be your masters. When I came to this one, the first thing I said to him was, it is important that you understand that the only thing that stands in the way of yourself and your awakening is what you already know. When you understand who you are, then what you already know will have less value to you than the value you have to yourself as knowing who you are. And while this might sound somewhat paradoxical, it is not. You are awareness. You are consciousness. You are able to articulate authority over thought, memory, emotion, and matter. The mere act of breathing has a scope and effect far beyond what most realize until they employ the process themselves. And so in aligning yourself to this process of slow and deliberate breathing, using the authority you have to direct the body to breathe, to establish a state of consciousness, through this act of breathing in the body, to also then to use that same form of authority to stimulate your thoughts, your memories and emotions into stillness, to realize that you can say to them, be still, be still, be still, be still. That you have the authority that even in the most difficult of emotions, with a single act of authority of the breath, you can say, be still, and know, be still. For some of you that have very strong and unmanaged emotional energy, the process remains true, although the period of what you call time will be required to gain the experience that indeed through the simple act of breath, through the simple, gentle suggestion to your thoughts to be still, for your emotions to be calm, always through the act of the breath. The breath is the foundation. The body is the foundation through which all thought resides. When you are able to establish the body into a deep and relaxed state through the breath, it will also be established that your mind and emotions will have to follow, for they depend upon the functions of the body in order for them to be active in this dimensional realm of experience. This is the awakening of your soul. This simple foundational step, this beautiful instrument that you find yourself hearing these words in, is the foundation upon which all thought and memory and emotion that you have acquired in this world reside. And in your ability to be determinate in being able to make this form surrender gently to you through the act of breathing, so too your mind and emotions will have to follow, as you will see, if you have experienced, if you have gone into this, as I have suggested. You go into this deliberately, consciously. As you establish greater stillness over the body, and you begin to experience how the mind sometimes at first begins to say, no, I do not wish to be quiet. You do not have to be angry or frustrated with it. You simply breathe. And let your breath be the command to your mind. Be still. Be still. Be still. Be still. Pull your attention from thought. Pull your attention from memory. Keep the body following your command to be still. Using the breath, the slower you make the breathing, the quieter the body becomes. In fact, there are some of you we know that can breathe as little as 1 or 2 times every minute with great ease, sometimes not at all, as you learn to assert your divine authority over that body. And the mind must follow where your body is directed. When the senses are disturbed and distracted by the environment, the mind becomes very active. But when you pull your attention back, you keep the body still, you close the gates of the temple, you direct the body to be still, you remove stimulation from it, you pull your attention from stimulation, you come inward, you keep the breath slow and deliberate. And as you do so, the mind has nothing to keep it active or distracted anymore. The act of remembering, the act of information stored in your mind is simply just that. It's information. It's not the nature or essence of who you are. The nature and essence of who you are is discovered in your awakening. in your recognizing that you can utilize thought and memory and emotion through acts that support and sustain your purpose. The function of your purpose becomes more known to you when you begin to discover what gives you the greatest delight in being, what gives you the greatest joy, the greatest love, the greatest peace from what you think or say or do, what you are being, and all things will proceed from that. What you are being when your mind and body are established in that place of stillness and peace. When it is established there, and you are established there, then you will begin to understand that you, in fact, can choose to create an expression that represents more accurately your true nature as a divine extension of consciousness in this dimension of what you call time and space and matter. It will get easier. There is not one among you that if you are to follow this process that would not understand and experience the freedom that comes through this simple act of the breath. You directing your body, the body that you are inhabiting, learning to direct it to be still, to be quiet and receptive to your awareness, to feel what you feel, creating that energy, that vibration in your body, to gain the experience, understanding, and knowledge that your thoughts, even your memories and emotions, can be calmed and brought to stillness, and you can still remain aware. And in that moment where you are aware of that place, where you are no longer disturbed nor distracted by memory, thought, and emotion, in that place you are awakening your soul. And many of you have asked, well, what then, Master? What then when there is no thought and there is no memory and there is no emotion to disturb or distract me? Then the questions can be asked. But that is another day. I will return again through this one. I am Juliaan. Thank you. Wow. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Saturday's editions of Shortcuts for Your Soul. I want to thank Juliaan for being present with us today and sharing that simple wisdom with all of us. Yes, it has been an amazing morning here. Hi, Gina. Hello, Allison, Jacqueline, and Betsy, and Drusilla. Hi, Sunny. Question from Sunny. What does my body need to release in order to allow conception? Thank you. Great question. I'm being told to tell you it is purpose and fear. You must release your fear and understand the nature of your purpose for having to be a gateway to another individual coming into this world. Is your conception for your own aggrandizement, or is it for truly that you are operating to provide another gift to this world in response to the call for love that is always being offered from the suffering of many? Please understand that the nature of having a child is not designed to be something for the personal aggrandizement of the individuals seeking to be what you call parents, but to understand the sacred duty of bearing a life, being a gateway to a life to come into this world, to offer its expression to it, to understand how then to allow that life to be in a space, in an environment that allows it to thrive and unfold its purpose without interference, with the right ideas and information and energy around it. There must be purpose in all things, especially at this time where great wisdom and knowledge is coming to you from many. And for those of you that have ears to hear and eyes to see, you know of what I speak. Please understand that you must have a purpose in all things, and not for your own aggrandizement. But what are you here? What is the extension of love that you came to impart to this world when you arrived? Can you remember this? Can you remember that you are this? So if you choose to recognize the nature and process of your role in being a gateway for this individual that you're calling forth, be very mindful of this, that you are simply operating as a doorway into which they may come, and you provide for them a space where their being may, without resistance, unfold consciously and deliberately, aiding them in the fulfillment of their purpose. You collaborate with them. You're not simply here to dominate and control an individual as a parent. You're here to collaborate with this individual. And when you agree to the collaboration, that conception will happen quite quickly. Please understand that. It will happen quite quickly. Wow. Thank you for that question. Wonderful. Wonderful. Question from Rosa. Any messages today for me regarding depression? Great question. Yes. Okay. Just a quick note on depression. Depression is usually an effect of past experiences running in the subconscious mind or in the conscious mind. Depression is an attachment to past pain and suffering. Anxiety is an attachment to the potential pain and suffering that might occur as a result of past events that your body remembers having experienced. But for you specifically, the extension of love to this thing, so many of you are resentful and angry at that which disturbs you. Please turn to that part of you that suffers and communicate these words to that part of you that suffers. I am here to love you, to honor you, and to take care of you, even if I do not understand you. Communicate these words to that vibrational energy in your body, because it is in your body. You feel it there, do you not? You do feel that energy you call depression. It's in your body. Some of you feel it in your head. Some of you feel it in your heart. Some of you feel it through your whole body. But whatever that energy is, offer it your love and be filled with the wonder at the change that occurs when you do so. So pause and feel and become aware of that part that is depressed and offer it those thoughts. Offer it those thoughts. I am with you. I love you. I will take care of you, even if I do not understand you. These words are not simply words, they are intentions that your vibrational energy of depression will receive and respond to it. Do this now and share with others what occurs for you in the inaction of those words. Do not try to get rid of that which you need, for the energy of your depression has valuable power for you to create with. It simply needs to be transformed from the state that it exists in into a new vibrational state, which the extension of your love will do. Wow, thank you. Great question. Wonderful question. A question from Nancy. How can I help those suffering in my family? This is a great question. For those that are willing to receive, to them you shall give. To those that are willing to receive, to them you shall give. But what shall you give? What else is there to give but love? What else is there to give but love? For those that you cannot speak to and say, you need to change this, you need to do this, then simply offer your love and be in your love. Remove your judgment from them. Remove your judgment from they that suffer. Remove your judgment from they that suffer. Let love be the gift, not your judgment. Wow, thank you so much. Is there a metaphysical reason for breaking my left wrist? Yes. If you divide your age if you divide your current biological age in half, and just before that halfway mark in your age, there was an event that occurred for you, an emotional event. And at that time, the emotion from that event was stored in that part of the body. And it could not be contained anymore. And an event was required in order to draw your attention to that which was ignored, denied, and suppressed in your body. Nothing happens by chance, but turn your attention to that place of space and time where that event occurred, and bring to that place and that space and that time the love that was not there when the original event occurred. We're not at liberty to discuss the details of that, but simply to let you know that that point of time and space just before the halfway point of your biological age is where this event occurred, and that that event was left without love. Go to that part of time and space and extend your love. You may do so now through the discomfort and pain that you experienced in the wrist. In there, offer your love now. Turn your attention to that beautiful space and place and time and offer it your unconditional love. Be not disturbed or upset, but offer it your love. You will find the healing process will unfold much more rapidly than you can imagine. Wow, thank you. Anything you experience from what you get, from whatever you guys get, remember, leave your comments, leave your experiences in the comment section below. Remember, please do, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, give this video a thumbs up. It helps get the information out to more and more people. And we love your comments and suggestions. We get to all comments and all your ideas. We do get to every single comment that's made. So please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below. You can also support this channel through my Patreon page. I want to say thank you to all my patrons. You guys are amazing. You know, the time, you make it possible for this time to happen. And you're also supporting a couple of really good causes. So thank you to my patrons. If you want to support the channel, you can go to my Patreon page and do that. But also you can use the super chat feature in the conversation panel. And you can also use super thanks, which comes if you're making a comment after a video has gone live. I got a question the other about why is it that we only do live videos? And I was told to tell you the reason this happens is because nothing gets in the way. There is no censorship here. There is no time to make things pretty or perfect. It is what it is, which is what is needed, not what is fabricated or orchestrated in order to manipulate and control your mind to believe certain things. Information that is true and in the moment has greater value than that which is constructed for the sake of manipulation. Oh, cool. I like that. Well, okay. Also, I want to say, for those of you that want to understand a little bit more about mediumship and being a clear channel, go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, and check out our upcoming mediumship schedule. Our master classes begin next week, and 3 weeks after our beginner's course starts. These are all master classes in mediumship, and it's an amazing process. I encourage you to go and get involved in that. I want to say thank you to Juliaan for being present with us. I want to say thank you to all of you for your questions, your input, your support. And I want to say to you, much, much love. I look forward to seeing you this week because we got a really cool lineup this week for everybody. This week, starting this Monday, we're going to have Master Katumi coming in. He says it's going to be on You Have a Purpose. And then he told me to put in brackets, not what you've been told. You have a purpose, not what you've been told. And that's going to be with Master Katumi this Monday, May the 23rd. Wednesday, May the 25th, the 7th Galactic Movements. And I don't know why they're pluralizing it, but it's the Galactic Federation, and they're going to be talking about the 7th Galactic Movements. I don't know what that means, but we're going to find out on Wednesday. And then this Friday, May the 27th, Redefining Freedom with the Ascended. So I hope you'll come and join us for that. I want to again wish you all much love. Have yourselves a wonderful and a joy-filled Saturday or Sunday if you're in another part of the world that's ahead of us. Much love, everybody. Bye for now.